If you can't answer this question, you need to watch this video right now. What's your conversion rate for all those intro meeting, discovery meetings, and implementation meetings you're having with prospects that eventually turn into clients? If you don't know those conversion numbers and those percentages, you need to stick around for this video because we're going to show you how you can start tracking that effectively in your Redtail CRM. Hi, my name is Matthew. At AdvisorTech Partners, we help financial advisors optimize their CRM by building out workflows, processes, and also introducing automations to their firm that they may not be aware is available to them. If this sounds like yourself, please feel free to schedule an intro meeting with us in our description down below. So in our video today, we're going to be focusing on how you can actually start categorizing these prospecting meetings within your Redtail CRM and then eventually build out a report that you can run either on a weekly, monthly, or maybe even a quarterly basis to give you those conversion rates that we were talking about. We want to know how many of those intro meetings are turning into discovery meetings, then into your maybe third meeting, which may be an implementation, and then finally, how many of all of those aggregate meetings are you actually getting clients out of for the quarter. So in our first step, I'm going to show you here what it looks like. So in our example, in our calendar in Redtail, we have a discovery meeting here, and I'll click on this discovery meeting and show you the category that we had just built out in our CRM. So if I look under the category section, under the activity details, I will see that we have a couple of custom types that we have built, but I'm going to be focusing on our prospecting today. So we have 3 prospecting meetings that we usually like to have with our prospects that eventually turn into clients. So if you don't have these built out already, let me show you how to do that right now. So in order to do this and to create these custom category types like what we see here, we're going to go ahead and on the top right, click our name, and then we'll see our manage account area in our Redtail CRM. So we'll click on that. And in our next page, we will scroll all the way down under admins only and click on manage database list. Now, if you don't have this option, feel free to ask an admin at your team that manages your Redtail CRM to give you access so you can start customizing those calendar events. So we'll go ahead and click on manage database. And then finally, we are going to see on the right-hand side, we'll have a couple of different options for our categories under activities and notes. So we'll click on categories, and then we'll finally be brought to the page, which is going to look a lot similar to the categories that we had on our calendar activity. So if I want to add these prospecting meetings, again, the reason why you're doing this is to start tracking those types of meetings that you're having. I'm going to go ahead and click on this blue add button. So click on this blue add button, and once this next page pops up for us here, we're going to go ahead and name this meeting. Now, so we're not going to understand all the meetings that you have, but if you have a list of the meetings that you have for your prospects, and usually you like to follow that flow, we advise that you put those categories within your CRM, just like what we're doing right now. And what that's going to look like is you'll go ahead and identify what type of meeting this is. So let's say this is a prospecting, and I know this is the first meeting that I have. And then I'll go ahead and put introductory meeting. Once you've done this, click the add category, and then you should see it pop up under your categories now. So if you go back into the calendar, going back to our discovery meeting example here with Joe Schmo, if I wanted to, I could go ahead onto that specific event that is happening on a day and then change that to that intro meeting, but I know this is a discovery meeting, so we'll keep it as our discovery meeting here. And then lastly, click the save activity. So now that we actually have all these categories built out, and again, pause the video if you need to build out your meetings that you have with your prospects. We're going to show you now how you can actually start reporting on that, so you can either see, again, that weekly report, maybe it's a monthly report, but we suggest maybe a quarterly report so it's more manageable and you get a better bird's eye view. If you're enjoying the content up until this point in the video, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as like this video. And also, please feel free to check out the description as we do have a free ebook, Mastering Strategies to Avoid the RIA Disaster, that are designed to really help out firms like yourself set up your CRM and set up your firm in a way so that you can sustain growth and be able to hire CSA number 2, advisor number 3, any other hires you really need to make internally. So in our next step here, what we're going to do is go and actually start reporting on this information. So on the left hand side, I'm going to click on the reports tab. Go ahead and click on it. And what that's going to bring up is essentially our area and our tool about how we're actually going to be running these reports, how we're actually going to be tracking those custom event types that we just built out in our CRM and actually report on a frequency that we want to see. So I'll go down, and if I continue scrolling, we have our activity reports. So what I'm going to do is click on activities by contact. So I'll click on activities by contact. In our next page here, I'm going to start filtering out the specific event categories that we just built into our CRM. So I'll click this filter button on the top right hand side, and let's say the date range that I'm really looking for again is at quarterly basis. So I just want to see the numbers for the quarter. So I'll go ahead, click on quarter, and I'll leave this to all servicing advisors, all writing advisors, but I'm actually going to change the activity type. So I just want to show actual appointments, meetings, and in-person and virtual meetings as well. So I'll go ahead and make sure that those are clicked. And then here is where we are going to really focus in on the activity categories. So I'll go ahead, click on that, and then scroll down to all of our prospecting meetings. So clicked on our intro meeting, discovery meeting, and our planned presentation. And again, this may be different for your firm because you may have different prospecting meetings that you like to provide to prospects before they actually become a client. So once I've selected those types, I'll go ahead and I'll put open and completed because, maybe we're not at the end of the quarter and I just want to see what's actually scheduled so far. So I'll click on open and completed. And then lastly, I'll go ahead and save and apply that filter. Just in case I want to reference this in the future, we can call this, say, prospecting meetings quarterly. And I'll go ahead and save and apply that filter. So now I should be able to see all the different types of meetings that have happened since the beginning of the quarter. We are in 2025 Q1 all the way to the end of 2025 Q1. So I see here, I do see my Joe Schmo meeting. I also see my Jane Schmo meeting. And if you're wanting to get a little bit better data, just more specific numbers, what we can do is filter out the types of meetings now. So if I just want to show intro meetings and how many intro meetings we've had for this quarter, I can deselect the discovery meetings as well as the planned presentations. And I'll just go ahead and apply the filter because I don't want to overwrite the filter that we just created. And I now see that we have our introductory call with Jane Schmo as well as some other tests that we had run in our CRM. So again, this is just to give you a better idea as to how many of these appointments you're having on a quarterly basis. And then really you can take these numbers and look at them from an individual standpoint and then start taking your conversion rates. Maybe you're looking to see, hey, I had 10 intro calls and only one of them moved to a discovery. What's going on? What may be happening? Are we not producing enough information? Are we not representing ourselves well enough in that intro meeting? This is going to be valuable data for your firm to start looking at on a quarterly basis. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you have also the same challenges within your CRM, maybe you're not knowing where to start off and how to actually optimize it, please feel free to schedule an intro meeting with us. We have our link in our description below. you.